One of my favorite things about being based in Colorado is how consistently long our ski seasons are. In these past 4 seasons I've personally experienced, we have skied from October all the way to June. Of course, there's never any guarantees, but I'm confident this season will be no different. This time of year in mid-October is always so exciting for me because it's when the buzz begins. Many resorts will have announced their opening dates by this point, and those are usually sometime in November. However, a few resorts in Colorado are always looking to open as soon as possible in October and don't have a set date. To get an idea of when this will happen, the first thing I always look at is the forecast. I look at OpenSnow and subscribe to their Colorado updates. Things will start moving along pretty quickly once snow starts and the nighttime temperature gets to the 20s. The base depth required to open is usually around 20 inches, but a lot of it will be man-made at this time of year, so I wouldn't worry too much about snow accumulation just yet. The second thing I watch closely is Al's blog. Alan Hensroth is the COO at A-Basin, the ski area that usually wins the race, and he posts pretty frequent updates in October that gives hints to when the ski season will begin. The blog is also where you will see the announcement for opening day first. I will also watch the resort cameras where you might see how the snowmaking is progressing and whether grooming has started. Although these feeds can be misleading because snowmaking might not be occurring right where the camera is pointing. In recent years, it has usually been between Keystone and A-Basin in the race to open first. Keystone is on the Epic Pass while A-Basin is on the Icon Pass, so you won't miss out if you have either of these passes. A-Basin opens high noon first, a short blue run right out of the base, giving you about 600 feet of vertical drop. Keystone, on the other hand, is usually more ambitious with their opening terrain and have opened with a long stretch of the Green Run Schoolmarm in the past few years. The opening day run usually gives you about 1,600 feet of vertical drop. You will be skiing on a lot of man-made snow in October into November. This might be a hot take, but I kind of love it. The snow quality on the first few days of the season has always been fantastic for me. And if you have watched my other videos, you know I am a big baby when it comes to snow conditions. In terms of crowds, it's a bit all over the place. Opening day at A-Basin recently have been on weekends. It's usually the first resort day of the season. With the lift being blazing fast and the run being relatively short, the lines can get really long. This situation improves quickly after opening day as other resorts start opening. A-Basin only gives you 5 to 7 days on the Icon Pass, and most people won't burn those days early on except for the novelty of opening day. Keystone, on the other hand, has always been great when it comes to lines. I very rarely wait more than 5 minutes even on opening day sometimes. Both the lift ride and the run are longer, and Keystone has been opening on weekdays in recent years. That said, the runs often feel very crowded, and there will always be people skiing very fast or squeezing by you for a side hit. In my experience, Keystone only gets better once other epic resorts in Colorado start opening up. Outside of those two big players, Loveland, Winter Park, and Wolf Creek are all opening as soon as possible this year as well. Both Loveland and Winter Park usually start with shorter green runs. Wolf Creek is a bit of a wild card since they sometimes get big dumps unlike the Summit County ski areas, allowing them to open very early or have much more terrain open by November compared to everywhere else in Colorado. For everyone else, opening dates have mostly been announced, but you never know. Eldora opened 2 weeks earlier than planned last year, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed the first couple weeks of the ski season. It's obviously not the best skiing, but after a whole summer, I'm just happy to be there. Up until maybe the second week of November, it's actually not the most crowded since most of Denver hasn't started skiing yet. However, once we get closer to Thanksgiving, that changes, and all of a sudden everyone wants to start skiing, but not enough new runs are open yet. The groomed runs get skied out quickly while being very crowded. Those few weeks around Thanksgiving are my least favorite time of the year to ski. The early season in Colorado goes from October to roughly mid-December. Whether it's worth it or not really depends on how much you want to ski and how much you can tolerate crowds. I love to ski if you can't tell, so I'm there every weekend. It's a warm-up for the regular season, and I get to spend the day outside and not in front of a screen. Over the years, I've learned how to stay safe and make the experience more enjoyable for myself. I made a video about it last year that I'll link in the description below. Sadly, I will miss October skiing this year, but I will see you on the slopes in early November. In the meantime, I want to know, do you think skiing in the early season is worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you have any questions about early season skiing in Colorado, and I'll try to answer them. And finally, please subscribe if you enjoy my content. Bye!